Idaho is leading the nation in an alarming trend: female incarceration, women going to prison. A new report from the Idaho Justice Project shows that the state's numbers and possible solutions could be found. Audrielle Tackett has the details on this data and what experts say could help turn things around. Audrielle?
Idaho incarcerates women at a higher rate than any other state in the country. While overall crime rates remain low, the state's female prison population has grown over the years.
Idaho has the highest incarceration rate for women in the country since 2019.
The Idaho Justice Project says female incarceration has increased more than 5,000% since 1980.
Our organization has been researching this issue for about a year and a half.
Erica Marshall, an attorney and executive director of the Idaho Justice Project, says the number of incarcerated women grew from just 25 in 1980 to nearly 1,300 in 2022.
We believe that this comes down to policy decisions that we're making in Idaho. We found that Idaho is arresting more women per capita.
62% of women in Idaho jails and prisons are serving time for drug offenses, with more than half of those being possession charges. The report shows Idaho women also serve longer sentences than the national average of 13 months.
We're starting out by arresting more women in the first place, and then we're locking them up for almost twice as long as the national average for similar offenses.
The Idaho Justice Project outlined 6 key reforms to address this crisis. Their proposed solutions include expanding physical and mental health resources and reentry support for women after incarceration. Some lawmakers also want to see a working group created to tackle this issue.
I think there's a lot of things to be discussed and looked at. For example, I'm fascinated by our neighbors to the south in Utah. Utah is a state that has nearly an identical violent crime rate to Idaho, but for every 5 women we incarcerate, they only incarcerate 1.
They say investing in community-based solutions could make Idaho a model for justice reform.
I think policy plays an important role, culture plays an important role. I think elected leaders have an important obligation to try and influence both of these.
The report and Representative Mathias noted that high incarceration is also a problem for taxpayers. It costs about $23,000 a year to imprison one woman in Idaho.
Very interesting. I had no idea. Audrielle Tackett reporting here on the news at 6. We have to take a break. We'll be right back.